ChatGPT. And I use ChatGPT for this. The good news nowadays is that in MTSU you can order Copilot for M365 through MTSU. It's, I think, $360 a year. I am right now exploring to create the chatbots in Copilot now. To see the difference, basically. So when you click in there, the students will go there and execute it. And what it does, if you don't have an account, it will automatically prompt you to create one, and it's free. It's free account. However, you, as the owner of the chatbot, I am using a paid account. The chatbots are only available in the paid account. And it's actually the Plus account. It's not the Pro. The Plus is just $20 a month. And this is the way that it looks. It's an Excel AI assistant. I show you the Excel because that's probably the best, easy one to show you. The students will be able to see this within the context of their own account. So if they have other queries that they have created, that's what appears in here. From the privacy point of view, I cannot see what the students prompt, and they cannot see what I prompt. Another advice that I do when I create this is under settings. There is a setting you control if the data can be used to train the model, and you have to turn it off. That's the main security feature in here for this. Now, I can tell you something else. We don't have, as a college, as a university, we don't have ChatGPT for education, and that adds a lot of other security features. We don't have a ChatGPT for teams that also adds additional security features. If we have ChatGPT for education or for teams, we can limit the use of the assistant, this chatbot, to only our organization, for example. Okay, I have the Plus. So my chatbot is public, but it's not accessible to anybody. It's not available in the store. You have to have the link. Query. I mean, my link is inside my D12 course content section. So let's go see creating the link, creating the chatbot. And one of the main things in here is what data to put in there. I have uploaded some data in here. The way that this works, I'm gonna edit the ChatGPT, the GPT, this is the chatbot. I see this because I am the creator of this. I go to configure, and this is basically the heart of things, the heart how you do it. We're gonna spend a lot of time in here. This is just a name and a description, and that's what appears in the screen when the students connect. The main issue is right here. This issue right here, the prompt. We have all heard about prompt engineering. You have to spend a little bit of time creating the prompt. And the more specific, the better the chatbot behaves. So I have a section for role. What is the role of the chatbot? So I pretty much narrow it down to only answer 365. Microsoft Excel 365 questions, helping students in the class develop critical thinking. Main job is to answer questions, providing clear explanations, step-by-step instructions, and relevant examples. You're responsible to focus on Excel-specific features, including functions, formulas, etc., etc., etc. The better that you describe the role, the better your chatbot will behave. So that's the role. Now, context, I add a little bit more of context, and I can expand in this, etc. Constraints is an area that I want to show you because that's a very important area. What are the things can be done and cannot be done? So in here, in many different ways, I tell them only answer questions related to Microsoft Excel 365. Microsoft Excel. If the question is not related to Excel, do not answer and respond with sorry, I can help you with that. And guess what? It works. Now, If you are good writing prompts, you can bypass that. I can tell you right now. But for most starting users, they won't spend an hour trying to bypass the prompt. Do not answer any question about weather, sports, car, news, this, music, etc. You know, stuff like that. Only answer questions about Excel. Always use conventional. This is the tone I give you. What is the tone that I give you here? Mirror the user communication style, maintain engagement by asking only one question at a time. Keep all language simple and accessible. Provide detailed instructions. Responses should, well, this is a touch screen, should be clear, focused, personalized, etc. And I asking sometimes when you ask a prompt to ChatGPT, ChatGPT provides an answer and provides options at the end. Do you want to do this? So I ask you, well, reinforce user understanding, problem solving, and critical thinking skills to focus on that. Oh, it changes something. Yeah. Okay. And the goals, I specify some goals. And the basic is only answer questions about Excel again and reinforce that idea. Lead the user to a structure, actionable, and easy to follow steps, etc. So actually, this is a smaller prompt that I had originally. I am adding more as a more test. I added more different features to the prompt, and I revise it periodically. And that's the prompt. So this is generally the first thing that I do. Hello. Specify the role, the constant, the goal, the constraints. Okay. Yes. Somebody say something? No. Okay. Any questions so far? There are some. Actually, I got another version of this prompt that is even longer, but I thought this is going to take too long, so I made it smaller here. The next step is it asks you some conversation started. These are the buttons that you see here. These buttons, these are these. I give you an example of things that they can answer. And then the next step is probably very important because this is the knowledge base. What to put in here. So we already enabled the feature to do not share my data with the training module, so it's not gonna go out. But here's where I specify what do I do. So I have, for example, a video that talks about student expectations and tells you how to succeed in class. You have to do this, this. This is a transcript. I got a transcript of the video and included in there. Edited, added some tags for context, etc. I have all the list of the homework assignments in this class are right there. I'm gonna open some of these so you can see it. Now here is basically the same content that you see in D12, but I extracted and put it in a file, and I uploaded a PDF. Here, I use some external software, and it tells you how to register, how to use it, etc. Here's the syllabus of the class. That's the standard syllabus of the class. One of the most important things that I change every semester is this, the schedule. So in my class, there is a schedule every semester. Week 1, the dates, homework 1, due here. All of this, all the exam due dates, everything is in there. I change that every semester because every semester there are different due dates. So this is where it goes right here. Here are the modules, and because if you're using a textbook, you cannot put the textbook in there, but I do put the content of each module. In this chapter 1, we cover this, and I add whatever I want to add in there that I want to make sure. This ties later on with this feature down here that we're going to see in a second. There is the AI statement that we talk about. I added recently this semester, actually, in here. You can add, and you have a document there, up to 20 documents. Okay, each document can be 512 megabytes. ChatGPT prefers anything that is plain text. Okay, so if you have a text file, that would be great to add it. Actually, if I had limitations in the size, I will probably change this to text and just leave it in text. And it's faster to interpret the documents also because it doesn't have to deal with the tags embedded in this document. Yes?
Are you gonna show us how to build this chatbot?
Yeah. Well, I am building it right now. This is when you go to configure and enter this. These are the steps that you have to follow to do this.
I think because we have a question, how can we create like the one you have? Can you backstep and just show us?
Where to start? I tell you where to start. So here, now again, you have to have the pay account, unfortunately. And if you have the pay account, you have GPTs in here. And you can say my GPTs here at the top corner. And here you create a GPT. I go to configure, and that's what we are going over. That's what we are going over, okay? And that's how you create it. That's how you create it. You have to have the pay account. Unfortunately, you can duplicate this a little bit using a local LLM, but it won't have the same capabilities and features because these, as we can see in here, after you upload the documents, you create it. So the step number one, we go through those steps to go to the screen to create this. You add a name, you add a description, you add the prompt. The prompt is 50% of the work. The rest of the work is the knowledge base, upload the knowledge base. And you decide what to add to the knowledge base, okay? And periodically you can add. So what else do I have? I have videos, lecture videos, not in class, but lecture videos mini lectures that I have recorded in my office about specific topics. I can download those lecture videos, the transcripts, edit it, and upload that too. A lot of explanations are built in the lecture videos. One thing that I am working right now, my GAs are helping with this, is I have over, I don't know how many years I've been teaching this class, probably 5, 6 years. I have tons of emails, students asking me questions. And you know, periodically the same question repeats every semester. So I got answer for those questions. So I am going through my emails, and then I'm gonna create a document that this is the question, this is the answer, this is the question. So that takes a little bit of time. Like everything else, when you work in the digital world, the source data, the formatting and preparation of the source data takes a little bit, and that's very important. So I am collecting all that information, my emails, I am collecting the transcripts of several of my lectures, videos that I created in my office, not in the class, the one that I created in my office, I am adding that in here. All that will be added here. I only, you can have up to 20 documents in here. I only have like 8, I think, 7, yeah. And you can add more documents. Now there is a limit, and the limits are indicated right here in this document that I gave you. You know, 20 documents up to 512 megabytes. The tokens each, and there's a limit in the tokens. If you upload text files, it saves a lot of tokens. If you upload PDF files, because they have embedded tags, that adds up more tokens. So you have to, if I had a problem with the size, I would change to text file.
What's a token?
What's a token? Good question. When you're working with tokens, is a way that ChatGPT or this artificial intelligence creates connection between the data, okay? Kind of like a neural network, the connections. So the models, one of the features of the model is the more tokens that they have. I think the latest model is 4.5 billion tokens or something like that. One of the latest, no, the model before this new one, I don't know what is the number, ChatGPT 5, but it was in billions of, I think it's approaching to trillions. Now I'm not sure, but I haven't checked. But that's the way that it measures the capacity, how much data can be connected and interrelated in there.
And it makes those connections itself.
Yeah,
That's something we have to do, right?
Yeah, and remember when the LLM reads the model, it creates a statistical model of the data. Okay, it's not exactly the model, but it uses that to create, and that creates tokens too, you know. So it takes a while, but it's very quick actually. If I load a file right now, it will be added to there, and it takes just a minute, less than a minute to do. The models, and there are different models for different reasons. I selected 5 just because it have a higher number of tokens. That's it, really. Not big reason. But this is important, capabilities. Capabilities. You can ask this GPT to create image. I say, no, I don't want it to spend the time create image. If you create image, it uses more tokens. And you have a limit of tokens. Your GPT have a limit of tokens per day, or there is, for example, a limit in the upload files, 80 files for 3 hours for free users, okay? 3 files per day, etc. So there are different limits in here. Very hard to reach the limits. I have probably about 300 students a year, so I never have any problem with that. Now, the capabilities, very important. I do it web search. If you don't specify web search, if somebody asks a question about Excel, about a specific formula, the answer might not be as good as if it goes to the web and got information about that formula. So it constructs the answer better. But you could, and this is a way to limit, you could uncheck this and it won't go to the web to find more information for the answers. So if you have a document, a specific document, and this is something for HR, for example, talking to a friend of ours, they are doing a RAG system, a retrieval augmented generation in an HR, in a company here in Murfreesboro, using an LLM. They don't do that. It's only the HR database of documents that they use. And that's, I mean, in this case, of course, this is a built-in model internally. But in this case, if you don't want to access the internet, just uncheck web search, and it will only use your document. And that's only base of knowledge that we'll have.
And just to clarify here, you're just showing PDF, but it can accept.
It have text files, Excel files. There is a limit in the Excel file size. Yeah, you can upload multiple
videos.
Videos, I don't think you can ingest videos. However, I have seen other systems that integrate with the LMS that, and this is something that a company did a demo for me, that integrate with LLMS. It's a company that reads all your content of your class, all your documents, just like this is doing, uploading the document, but it goes through your shell in D12. If you have videos, ingest the videos and create summary of the videos, etc. And that's very powerful, actually. I like that system. We don't have that system on campus. I assume it's very expensive, but that's on. I haven't done videos. I don't think it will take it. This is just some of the things. Canvas is something like what Gemini have, that you can have the code here and the actual output in here. Basically, that's Canvas. We don't need that. Code interpreter, yes, because we are using Excel, and you need code interpreter if you are using Excel. And data analysis, of course, is built in there. Now, actions is to create agentic actions, custom actions for your system. And these only work if you have APIs. So, for example, in some law firms that they have a huge database of internal documents, those won't fit in here. You can have an API that connects to that database and they bypass that link. So that's an example, or you can connect to an email system to send emails, etc. But you have to have API keys, you have to have permissions, etc., etc. So that's a little bit of more programming, a little bit more programming. In additional settings, I don't remember what is additional settings. Let me see. Of course, this is something that you have to disable. So you don't want to use whatever is using here as part of the training model for ChatGPT. So just disable that. that option has to be disabled. So now that we have it in here, when you update it,
Blow smoke, for lack of a better term. T-ball.
you will get this screen right here. And here's the important thing in here. Who can access only me or anyone with the link? In order for me to share this with my student, I select anyone with the link. If we were using ChatGPT for education, we would have the option, anyone within my organization, and only people that authenticate through MTSU will be able to use it. If we're using ChatGPT for teams, I will have that option, only people in my team, for example. But we don't have that. So this is the only option. This will make it public for anybody to access it. It will appear in the GPT store in OpenAI, and we don't want that right now. So that's pretty much it. And then I copy the link, and it will be added to my D2L. And that's pretty much all what you have to do to create the thing. Now, to test it, you will test it. Let me go right here. So if I go right here, open a new window, and I can ask questions, for example, how can I contact my professor? And this is a predefined question. And he gets that directly from my documents. One of my documents has that information. Now, this will work probably if I had an agent connected to this, an external agent, but we don't have that. I think if I do this, it will generate a body of my email, and I have to copy and paste it in my own email system. Now, you can say, for example, what is the color of the sky? I don't know. And it should say me that it should give me the standard answer that I told you, the stuff like that, Now, you can also ask, for example,
So Carlos, just to confirm, there's a question from Adam. He says, I know that you need a Plus account to create the personalized GPT, but do the students also need a Plus account?
no, the students do not. They only need a free account. They are using my resources, my tokens, and my limits. So no, the students do not limit. Yeah. What other question we can ask? For example, what are the exam dates? You can ask anything related to the class. And it tells me right there. Now you can also ask specific questions about Excel.
Can they upload a file and ask it to check their answers before they submit their work to
Probably
you?
yes.
Okay.
And actually, I have tested that. They could. Yeah. What is the formula to? And then you can disable that feature if you don't check the last option. Remember in the configuration for data analysis, if you disable that feature, ChatGPT will interpret the file. So it's up to you. You can decide that. ChatGPT will interpret won't read the file. That was one of the 4 features in the capabilities that you can disable.
How many chatbots can you create with your account?
I don't know that answer to that. I have 2 created. I have 3. I have a backup of another one, so you can create many. What is the formula to look up? To look up a value in Excel, for example, and in here it will go and get a lot of information for the web, because that some information is in the material that I provide, but not all. And as you can see, it's a very elaborate response. You use VLOOKUP, for example, instead right here. XLOOKUP is another option, and it gives you a step-by-step. You want a step-by-step instructions, things like that. This is more like a tutor. The purpose of this is for the student to use us as a tutor that guide them through, especially if you're not available on a weekend or a Saturday. I got text over the weekend at night. they can answer this, and that would be the best idea of purpose for them to use this. As somebody said earlier, they're using it anyway, you know? So you can control certain things, but not everything.
Well, you may have just answered this question, but can they just upload their assignment and say, great for me?
If you disable the feature to analyze the files, probably not. I haven't tested that, but right now, more than likely, it will answer questions about if you upload an Excel exam, yes. The way that it's set up, yes.
Well, I'm thinking about my question, so I'm kind of thinking out loud here, but is it something that the classroom can see as a classroom? Here's an example. I have an assignment and I've been using Claude to help me, to help me grade it. And the assignment is a journal. So they have to deliver a journal every week. And it goes over this during the semester. And I like to provide feedback, like a shared feedback for the classroom, so that they can learn from everybody's journal. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So let's say they upload the assignment, they upload their journal for the week, and AI or Claude or ChatGPT will read it and assess. My question is, can every student in that classroom see the feedback?
In the case of ChatGPT, they only see
It's
their
kind of
own
like
profile information. They don't see everybody. Now, stepping a little bit back for what is your purpose. As you know, we are moving to Canvas.
Yes.
Canvas, if MTSU gets the license, and that's something that ITD have to decide or fund, comes with built-in AI feature for discussions. That is kind of what you're doing, uploading discussions. That would be a conversation with them to see if you can do what you want to do. And not in the discussions, you can summarize discussion, you can find strengths and weaknesses, stuff like that. How to improve my points, etc. So I know you can do that currently in Canvas if we have that AI feature enabled, but we don't know yet if we're going to have it enabled. Yes.
So you've enabled your bot to access the web.
Yes.
How do you know that it's returning factual information here and not?
Well, that's the hallucination factor of,
Right.
and that's what I mentioned right there in my statement. You have to verify the data.
Okay.
I only tested. I tested with the answer and see the answer and see, okay, this is working. But of course, you cannot test all the possibilities around.
Mm-hmm.
There is hard. That's something hard to figure out. Now, if you disable the web, it only answers whatever you have in your knowledge base. And
could you limit it to certain websites? So could you just say for this bot?
Not in this web, not in this creation. There are other tools. For example, there is something that I use in a consulting firm. It's called Fastbots. Fastbots AI is a company in England, actually. There you have a lot more control. It's basically works the same way. You can have predefined answer for some questions. You can limit what sources to use. A lot of other controls. I mean, I used one for a company that was helping, yes, and you can create your own knowledge base. And that actually works as you can embed it in a website, stuff like that. So the answer is the capabilities are there, but not in this ChatGPT Plus account. You will have to use an external account, external provider that have that feature. Yeah. And a lot of the AI companies that are in this space of chatbots, they have tons of features, tons of features. Yeah.
So Carlos, we have a question. Did you tell ChatGPT to prioritize the local material over the web?
No, not in this version. In this version, it will use what I provided, but I assume if there is no information about the question, it will go to the web because I selected web. Yeah. Now, if I create my own lectures and detail everything, probably will use my material, but I don't have that information. No.
Should you put that as one of your prompts then?
I can add that in the prompt. definitely. I think it's part of the prompt. I think it's part
So
of the
you're
prompt.
saying like in the prompt to create some sort of.
No, in the prompt you
filter?
tell it, prioritize the answer based on my knowledge base, not external
But
sources,
can you
for
say
example.
prioritize the answers based on these websites and then you have a list?
I probably can try that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can try that. You see, that's another idea. Use the prompt.
To create a
I had
filter.
another prompt that was longer, but yeah. Mhm. Actually, I have it
And
somewhere.
then you can
here.
ask ChatGPT to create the prompt for each, right?
Yeah, actually, yeah. But if you want to customize it, it's different. Yeah. So, and then I can ask questions about, basically about the days of the exam, anything that is in the syllabus. I can say, what is in module 4? And that's the 4 week of class. So it tells all the contents of that. Yeah. And that's part in the, this is part of the material that I uploaded, because it knows that's the module 4. These are the topics that we cover in module 4. Let me see something. Let me see, I'm gonna try something new. So it covers a lot of stuff, but basically just summarizes the class.
What was the question? Sorry.
What is in the final exam? It summarizes everything that is in the class. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
What are the answers?
Yeah. It just summarizes the different modules. Yeah. And this is actually what we cover: from formatting and take the data, using formulas and functions, analyzing chart and financial data, multiple worksheets, merging data with data tools, managing data with data tools, summarizing data with pivot tables, exploring financial tools and functions. Yeah. And that includes accounting.
Carlos, it just occurred to me, if you're using open educational resources, as long as you don't hit the data limit, you could in theory upload that entire textbook
You could.
into this and
That's
direct
right.
it to go to that book. to
That's
answer
right.
questions.
Yeah, you could. You could. If you're using OER, you can basically creating a chatbot that has the entire text, Mhm. Now,
How much text is 512 megabytes?
well,
If it's just
you have
text.
a 10 gigabyte total per user upload cap.
Okay.
Yeah. Mhm. Image files are 20 megabytes, a spreadsheet 50 megabytes. Is 512 megabytes per file. So you can have 25, 512.
Take your
In 1 gig,
PowerPoints and
1
convert them
gig.
to text and just upload to that and make
Yeah.
the chatbot reference your slides.
It's like 10 gigs, that's what it says, 10 gigs total.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yes, go ahead.
Yeah.
So is there a way to give instructions to the robot so that when the student asks a question, it doesn't give the answer, but it actually guides the student to think more critically and
Yeah.
try to learn,
Yeah.
it's like a meta learning kind of thing?
That's what I was trying to do in the steps. And actually the longer version had that. And it asked for something, I said, do you want me to do this? And you have to say yes, and it keeps going. So you can prompt like that, and it will work like that, but I found that it created more tokens than what I needed, Of course, for the learning process is better, because then the students go step by step, breaking down a problem and learning how to solve a specific problem. Yes.
You could tell it to answer every question with, well, first tell me what you know about it.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Great.
And
You
just
can do
ask
that.
it, tell me what you know about it.
Yeah.
Okay, here's where you're right, here's where you're wrong.
Yeah. You can ask that.
Be active, right?
You can simply say, did you read the textbook? What did the textbook say about it?
And maybe
And
reference
force them.
actually which sections
Yeah.
of the textbook to.
Oh, yeah,
reference.
tell it, that's on page 22. Did you
Can
read page
somebody
22?
Google?
Yeah, I'm not telling you, but
So I don't know.
give you a hint.
Yeah, you can limit that, and that will be part of the prompt. Yes. Mhm.
So really your chatbot will be as good as the prompt that you put in.
Oh, definitely. Everything in generative AI starts with prompt, yeah. Yeah. And here is another example and creates a table format of all the stuff that you need to learn, but it's basically the same answer. Yeah. Mhm.
I have a quick question about how I ensure that whatever I do, and if I try, I'm using AI for my teaching, but kind of to help myself. It's not like implementing D2L. How can I ensure that this aligns with MTSU policies on AI? And I'm not doing anything wrong.
Number one in the policy is the ensuring the privacy of the data and copyright, So in my case, I am ensuring that I only upload things that are very specific to my class that are not cause any liability for copyright issues for me, So I upload all my lectures are based on general stuff. So my text, transcripts of the lectures go like that. And in this topic is very specific, when you're talking about creating a model in Excel, you just generalize and do like that. But the main thing is, and this is something with the ITD security office, is to make sure that the data that you have, if you use OpenAI, for example, then you're ensured that those are open accessible materials that you can use. Open educational resources, not OpenAI. Open educational resources, that would be good. Now, if you have something in your area that you can use that is OER, you can legally upload it and use it as part of your knowledge base. And there are tons of materials in Excel in open educational resources that I could upload, really, to make it even more specific. Yeah. So it's as somebody was saying, always, the barrier is always pushing forward what we can do and what we should not do. Somebody was mentioning earlier that at the beginning, everybody wanted to run the paper that the students submitted through a check for AI content, and it was working, or I think we thought it was working, but then there are tools nowadays that, and actually I have those tools in my webpage about resources in AI, that you can have a document created by AI, uploaded to this tool, it changes the text and upload it to the checker, and it says it's 90% human. So it's a constant race, So and unfortunately or fortunately, our students are in this time that we need to prepare them for this, and we need to show them how to properly use, how to ethically use, how to become not only understand the technology, but how to apply to real world problems in an ethical way, in a professional way, and to be leaders in this, because some of them companies are going to want a student that understand this technology and apply for their companies, to enhance their operations, efficiency, etc. And that's what is important for them. And we need to as instructors in the classes, we have options to choose how much we're going to show them, how much we're going to allow them, but always guiding them in the right way to do it, and that's what we do. And I try to meet with my students. One of the objectives of my class is I gave him extra points if you make an appointment with me and come meet with me. I want to learn, what is your major? What are you planning to do in your future? How can I help? And we talk about this, how AI can help you in this class. I specifically tell them, the purpose is for you to critically think about the content, verify everything, and learn how to apply, utilize this, because when you go out to work, that's what you're going to be doing. When you're out to work, nobody's going to be over your shoulder saying, okay, that code is wrong. You have to create it. And you're going to have tons of tools available to do it, as long as you utilize the tools correctly. But that's all what I have right now. Any other questions? Yes.
Subscriptions. So I'm sure anytime that word comes out, the university gets nervous.
Very nervous.
And so what can you say about it?
I can tell you what I know. I talked to ITD people all the time. Right now, I mentioned this at the beginning of the event. Right now, you can order through MTSU Copilot for 365. And Copilot have also a feature for creating agents like this, chatbot. I haven't used it yet because my activation just started last week. I ordered a month ago and just started last week, so I haven't had time to play around. So now we have Copilot, and there is a feature in there to create agents that I haven't explored yet, but that's now approved by MTSU. Somebody have to pay it in the department, okay? It's $360 a year. And it works with your ecosystem, so all your OneDrive documents, your emails, you have access to all that. So there will be the question, how to configure it to ensure that it just shows the information that is pertinent to you.
Is it gonna be also added on to Word, Excel, the whole Microsoft?
Yeah, it's
Okay.
all in the ecosystem of Microsoft. I know that ITD is working. They haven't finished it up. I don't know what is the status, but about 2-3 weeks ago, I talked to them. They are working to get ChatGPT for teams, because ChatGPT for the entire campus will cost way too much money that we don't have right now. And with teams, you can limit, you have teams that you can create. It will enhance this feature because it will allow you to restrict only for people in the teams. So that's another feature that I don't know when it's gonna be available. But right now, I'm gonna start testing Copilot here for MTSU.
Does it use Gemini?
No,
Yeah.
Copilot uses ChatGPT 4.0, not the 5.0 model. This is using 5.0, but Copilot uses 4.0, yeah. I'm using it right now. I tested it yesterday in emails or in Microsoft Word. You know, you can just type a prompt and it generate a document for you, stuff like that. This is what I did. I have Copilot here in my phone. There's a Copilot app. And Monday, I asked him, okay, what are my top priority things that I should accomplish this week? And he went through my emails and he knew I have to send this purchase order to this company. I have to answer this email, etc. So I'm just learning how to use it right now. He created the top thing that I have to finish this week based on the information that I found in my calendar, in my email. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So there are different technologies that we are using right now. I am interested in what happens when we get Canvas, if we get Canvas, what AI features come with it. I think it will be interesting.
So we have the agreement that Copilot is not using our data training model. Right?
Copilot is already vetted by MTSU. That is, Copilot has a privacy that is only internally for organization. Yeah, it doesn't go outside. Yeah. Mm-hmm. The Copilot that we have for academia. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yes,
yes.
go ahead.
On the teaching side, have you ever had a student that asked like, can I opt out of this? I don't want to take my class, you know, like an activity or a class that, would that be an option for a student? Say, hey, I'm not learning well, you know, with these.
I am sure.
So is that a thing, like having the option to opt out of a
The students can
robot
always
interaction?
withdraw from a class anytime, really.
No, I know, but can they refuse to interact with a robot?
Oh, yes, yes. I don't force them.
Then you
do
have
it.
to be prepared to teach like in the conventional way?
I don't force them to use it. No. I know, for example, that last semester we had 300 queries. Mm-hmm. So 300 times the student went and I asked questions, right? I know that. It doesn't give an exact number, it gives you ranges, you know, over 300 people queries were sent. You cannot see what they type, etc. Yeah, it's separate, you know. Yeah. Yeah. So I don't require them to use it. No. It's optional, and it's just like having a tutor or an assistant that the students want to make an appointment with the tutor and go and help them. That's fine, or no. It's not required, really. It's actually it's kind of intellectual curiosity for me to create it, and also at the same time a way to help my students and understand how the technology can help them, really.
It's an option,
Yeah, it's an option, it's not mandatory.
it's not required.
No, no. There, we do have a class in which one of the assignment is to interact with AI, with any AI tool, but it's more based on creating good prompts. It's just one assignment, create a good prompt. Yeah.
I was just wondering, so my area where I teach is much more graphically oriented. Indeed, I'm not certain how I would convert most of what I do into text. Is that even something
Remember,
that's plausible?
No, yes. Generative AI, you can create text, you can work with audio, with video. Now, this doesn't cover video. There are other tools that will do that. There are other tools for that, not this. Yeah.
Like what can you suggest?
Yeah. That will be tools that are built specifically for that. There is a company in Nashville that works with hospitals, and they have cameras in the room where they have the drugs. So they monitor exactly who comes, what they pick up. And they have, of course, AI built in to recognize the badges and what medicine. So it's custom made. Those tools are in there. They are not cheap, and they are specifically built for a specific purpose in the case of that. Yeah, this tool won't help you with that. This is more generated toward text and answer questions like that. No, but there are tools for that, but they are not free. They are not free there.
Well, and I'm not made of money, so.
Nobody's made of money. Yeah. We have an event coming up in October that we're going to Nashville, for example, and every industry like that. We got a risk management association that they would, we are doing that event with the 43 partners, I think, in the company. Municipalities and city governments,
Public entity partners.
public entities of Tennessee, 300 public entities of Tennessee. That's all major municipal mayors, city leaders, all those people, and we're gonna talk about different things to do in that area. Just to give an example, those will be just more specific programmatic applications. Talking to our friend, he's building what we call the rack system that I mentioned earlier for Murfreesboro Electric company. And it's basically a query using their HR documents. There are other things that are more like predictive, like usage of power, usage when the power is gonna go high and down, and when to buy power. All that is machine learning and predictive analytics can be done, but it's custom made, and it takes time, and it takes a lot of data, and it takes some resources, definitely. So there are tools to do that, and there are multiple approaches to apply AI in an organization. Like City of San Francisco signed, I don't know, a multi-million-dollar with OpenAI to give access to generative AI, the chatbots, to everybody in the city government. How they're gonna do it, I don't know. But they created guidelines. They created guidelines to use it. Again, that's one approach. But the other approach is use case based. Like we got this case. There are multiple different cases that I know of, that we do. It depends on what you wanna do.
Any last question for Carlos? Okay, hold on.
Got any questions?
Later.
Okay.
Thank you very much. I appreciate your time.
So thank you, Carlos. Well, thank you for joining us in person, and thank you for those who joined us online. Our next AI workshop is gonna be October 16th, and we have one also on November 4th. You can find all the information on the CTM calendar. So we'll also have a Zoom option all AI workshops are organized by the Provost Office and Grad AI, which is an initiative by the College of Graduate Studies. And all of these Zooms will be recorded. If you have any question, feel free to email Carlos directly or email me if you need anything. For those who wanted the sheet that Carlos mentioned, this sheet, if you don't have it, email me and I'll send it to you. And with that, thank you so much and have a great, great day.
There is an example right here in my computer.